Is it still shiny?
It's still shiny. It's still a diamond.
Remember before, like when I proposed, before you were like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna wear this. Like in the Philippines, you never wear your ring, right? You never wear it because you know.
No, because I was working. I'm afraid I walk home when it's late night and then I might get robbed because it's shining. So that's why I just keep it. I wear it now.
Yeah, you wear it now. I was like, you're not gonna. What do you mean? You know, he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna wear it. I feel like somebody might attack me. I'm like, okay, well that's best. Whatever's best for you. I was sitting in the back of my mind like, yeah, right. She's about to be wearing that ring tomorrow. The very next day, when I came back to the U.S., I got here and I saw you walking to work and I was talking to you on the way to work and you were like, ooh, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm like, hey, I thought you said you wasn't gonna wear that in public. No, I'll just flip it over.
No, I flip it like this, like it's still not show.
Today is Monday, the 19th, and I'm just about little under 7 days for me leaving to go to the Philippines. I am going to get on a plane and go meet my girlfriend for the first time. It's an indescribable feeling.
But it fits really well to me. I don't know, how did you know that that's my ring size?
Well, you know, I studied long and hard. And here's the thing, my parents didn't even know I was proposing. So my parents didn't know I was proposing. My brother didn't know I was proposing.
I didn't even know. April 23rd, we start talking on WhatsApp. But we meet like early April on Filipina Cupid, how doesn't take time to log in there. Mm-hmm. I'll just show, like I only log in back when I wanted to deactivate that account because it keep me sending emails.
So, but the first person who messaged me was Rosie. And I looked at her bio and immediately thought she was lying. Immediately thought she was lying. I'm like, this is a guy who lives in his grandmother's basement, that's obese, and has a fourth grade reading IQ. There's no way in heck that, you know, this girl is this hot and has this many accomplishments. So I checked her picture and it was like, oh man, she's really hot. So I'm thinking, nah, this is a scam.
I see your message, so that's when I message you. But we talk on WhatsApp on October 23rd in the Philippines, October 22nd in the US. See, I remember.
And then finally, she gives me her number and says, you know, you could call her. The very next day, I called her. I'm not a stalker. I'm just saying.
Suddenly called and I said I was walking to my sister's store. It's so noisy. I'm on the street. Yeah. That's the first time. Then my hair is like flying all over my face.
I called her and she happened to be like, you know, running some errands. And if you know anything about Manila, it's like mad traffic. It's crazy amounts of horns and it's construction sites around the city. You got bikes, people's going around, running around. It's just a very hectic city. So she was walking around and I'm figuring like, oh man, she don't even want to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? She's just not. But come to find out, you know, she was just in rush hour stuff and she couldn't get back to me like that. And she couldn't hear when I called. She was like, I'll give you a call back. So I waited about 3 hours or whatever.
A few moments later.
And I'm thinking, oh man, she ain't calling me back. And then all of a sudden, she calls me back. And I'm like, okay, that works. I can do that. I thought you was definitely a scam. You're a scammer? I was like, you know, in the United States, they tell all the guys, beware scammers. There's like, you might see a picture of this really extremely hot girl, and she's not even really a girl. She's some guy that lives in her grandma's basement. What is the idea of American men in the Philippines? They see you as, that's a black guy, or that's an American, or that's an American black guy.
Most Filipino women, they like white American, maybe because of the color. Like we are darker, right? I was in Canada. I don't like white men because they're pale, like they're like vampires. I don't know. I just don't like pale.
When you say
I
that,
feel like white men is not that masculine for me. I don't know what's in the other women.
do you often see American black males in the Philippines?
I see them because not often when I am on the different place where I live. I just see much of them when I'm in Manila, when I stay in Manila after I came to Canada. Because of the tourists around these areas, they're just different kind of nationalities, including black. But maybe I'm just isolate myself. I'm not really much interested. That I'm not just much interested, even if I see like black men or what. Maybe because I get attracted to men when I start talking to them.
Yeah, so it's not really looks based. It's like,
Sometimes it's not on how you looks like, but I'm much more interested when I start talking to them. I know 6 foot is like tall. It was just my first time to see that tall. Like, oh my God, I just didn't realize you're that tall.
yeah, it's
It's like, that's why everyone on the street is looking at you when we walk, because they thought you're one of those basketball players. Like the NBA basketball player, that's what really they thought, because you look like one. Like,
I remember walking around and being like,
everyone is looking at you.
why is everybody staring at me? People like would stop in the mall and talk to me like for no reason, and I would be like, hey. And I played, sports in college, and I played sports in high school, and then I tried out to be a professional. So I kind of understand that when they see you, they look like, wow, you're pretty big. Like, it happens in America too. Like, so I'm like 6'5", like, and I weigh like 285 pounds, 6'5", 280.
You were so tall. Like, I was so surprised. Like, oh my God, that's how tall it is. I know it's tall, but I just don't realize that it's really, like, in person it will be just like more than I imagined. Like, oh my God, I look so little. And I live most of my life just by myself. Like, I don't really have that I only have like a long distance relationship before, and I was not always with the guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was like most that I'm going to live with for a few days. Like, oh my God, I started cute war, and like how I react to this thing. Like, how will I react, or how will I feel having like really.
I had known, like, I knew within like 2 weeks that I was gonna marry you, right?
Garrett will not propose to her. Like some of your family members, they doesn't think that you're going to propose to me on our first meeting. Maybe because they know that you doesn't have a long distance relationship ever since.
Nah, man, I just got out of a divorce. Come on, man. There's no way in heck I'm about to start doing this. Come on, man. I ain't worried about this. I am not about to just, be doing this. I'm about to just, be in a relationship, and she lives 3,000 miles away.
And you just had your divorce
Mm-hmm.
when you met me.
Yeah.
So they just thought that you will just came to the Philippines to meet me, but will not propose to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were shocked because at that point I had got divorced in.
He doesn't even know that you're already divorced. That's why when you said that you're not even that people does not inform you that you're divorced, and then you suddenly announce you're getting married, like you're engaged. Like what? Like
Yeah,
oh,
they called my mom like, what do you mean? Like, we were just at his wedding.
Baby, make your booty go. That thong, yeah. Come on, baby. That thong,
We were at this extravagant wedding.
said baby, make your booty go.
That was a destination wedding, and there was dancers and people flew in. We did it in Florida. Like there was, we did it this huge facility. It was just basically we spent so much money on that wedding. And then this is crazy, almost less than a year later, we was already getting a divorce. And so when I got my divorce finalized in March, I had already been separated.
you know that you're already divorced. Like not lots of people know that. They just
Yeah.
remember wedding, but it doesn't know that you're already divorced. So that's why when we announced that we were already engaged and you proposed to me, it was like a shock for everyone. It shocks for everyone to me because it doesn't really thought that I have a boyfriend because I was single for a long time. Know that I am in a relationship with, and they thought that it is from Canada or somewhere like that. They just doesn't thought it's different person. They thought that I'll get engaged in Canada. So then they see you like it seems like it's not Canadian or what or
I said, he
are
ain't
we?
Canadian, but who's this guy? Who's this dude? So
That's
it
why we
doesn't.
have so many people reacting when we announced that we're engaged, both in my side and to your side. Because I was single for about 4 years, and I live in Canada for like more than a year. So they thought that the one that I am engaged with is Canadian, but they just doesn't realize that it's different. Like, are we lost in translation here?
I remember proposing to you the night before I left. So I didn't do it the night of when I was leaving because you'd have been way too emotional. Like
The
you,
last like every woman should feel this way. Like I never. It was just a wonderful feeling. It's just so hard to explain. That is how it feels like to someone asked you to marry them, to get engaged. Like it's just feel like so much respect of yourself. It's just a wonderful feeling. I hope that's why I told my sister that does not marry that you should feel the same way. Like just wait your boyfriend to get like propose to you. Don't rush because it's just such a wonderful feeling. But I really never thought that's all that I needed to be happy. Like I've been traveling around the world. I just didn't know what really could makes me happy. And then this is the only thing that actually makes me happy. The thing that I thought that would makes me miserable, because I always thought that marriage is miserable, that marriage is it's just not that happy.
You know, I always say you never know when something special is gonna come into your life. So you always gotta be prepared to go that extra mile and to be able to not settle for the person or person you with. You know, when I got a divorce, it was hard for me because for me, I never expected to never not be married. And if I say I was gonna do it forever, to be forever. However, when we came to the conclusion that we would get a divorce, you know, I felt that I at least did try to even like reconcile the marriage, just because of how much conviction I had and believed in marriage. So, but when my ex-wife like turned it down, it was like, no, we should just get a divorce. Like it was funny because it just freed me to. I'm like, okay, now I'm really out of this deal. After I got a divorce, I started dating. I became like a serial dater. I started dating and I was on any given platform you can think of. Plenty of Fish, Christian Migos, BlackPeopleMe.com.